Hey guys, welcome to another video brought to you by Total Control Traders. A little bit later than usual today, so let's get right into it. All right, today we saw a lack of bear follow through. We were trading right under the daily 8 yesterday. However, bear was unable to keep it down under. Today we are strong bulls on not really anything significant bull volume. Let's see. Just average bull volume, but lack of sellers. We have now pushed all the way back to this trend line. So let's redraw a trend line. Yeah, so depending on how you draw it, we are now rejecting from the trend line of this wedge, the lower trend line of the wedge. Now tomorrow is key. Tomorrow we're gonna likely see a drop down below. However, we are trading over this key resistance zone that I was watching, and we have broken through the golden pocket on one single shot. Market is strong. Now let's see where we're going to retrace to. If we're to do a fib, even if it were to retrace back all the way to GP, it still makes sense. Lines up with the support zone. And if we were to go back to the 0.382, nope, doesn't really make sense. Regardless, we held the must hold zone, and now we're seeing a nice follow through on the bull momentum. SPX looking strong, needing a 4-hour higher low. Look at this 4 hours. We had, from the bottom of the bounce, we have bounced 5%. Just one straight shot. And if we're looking at a shorter time frame, this was a very healthy run up. Look at this. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, lower high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Just keeps on going. Okay. And now we can clearly see a rejection on this trend line. However, it is a bull flag forming on the RRD. RRD 8 is your guide. Still need that 4-hour 8. Anticipate a 4-hour 8 touch before the next leg up. Chart is looking strong. Even after hours, there is no pullback. All right, let's look at NAS. Similar idea. One straight shot, broke through GP, broke through trend line. NAS is extremely strong. We are so close. 0.66% from all-time high on NAS already. So NAS is really strong. Dow's still the weakest of them all. Have yet to make a higher high from the last drop. But so keep your eyes on Dow. We're gonna want to see Dow make, or at least come back to revisit this resistance at 31.27 again within this week, ideally, for us to have confirmed bull momentum. Dow seemingly it's very weak comparing to SPX and NAS for the last little while, and we know that we're gonna need Dow to be bullish in order for the whole market to continue on the bull trend. One thing that's very interesting is the IWM. It is looking strong. Look at this on the daily, okay? The daily 8, we bounce, bounce, bounce again. Opened below, but got bought up right away. 2 closes below, but no follow through. Then we got bought up. Next day, gap up. Okay, bouncing from it again. Open below, got bought up. The most recent pullback allowed for a few closes under the daily 8, but similar. Now we're getting bought up right away again. Today, touch the daily 8, continue to go. Russell 2000 is looking very strong, and we are potentially looking at an extended move on the wave 5 count. So here is 1. Let's draw this out for you guys. Here's 1, 2, 3, the highest run, 4, 5. Now because there is still a potential that this is going to form a B and come down for a C, but looking at this, looking at the lack of follow through on this pullback, it has a high potential of going for an extended 5th leg run. Okay. All right. Now let's get into 10-year over 2-year. Big upper wicks forming. Still trading over that trend, the upper trend line. So bond yields are still looking strong. Longer term versus the 10-year over 2 years. VIX. Remember what I said? Remember to take profits on your VIX. Okay, if they were serving as a hedge purpose only. I mean, this particular time it was a little bit harder because of how we rejected from the daily 8 yesterday, but today was just straight bull. So it would have been a little bit harder to find that right exit, especially how majority of us were still looking at further downside. This bounce was a lot stronger than expected, and that's why along a pop like this, you want to make sure you take some profit. We did have a double top, near double top, on bear divergence. And remember what I said, when VIX pops, it also drops fast. You look back at any of these, right? Very similar. Pop, big drop. From there, it's just a slow grind down. So if you're still holding VIX, consider taking a loss on it. VIX is it should only be used as a hedge. Should not be anything like long hold, because you're gonna be holding a long time. Okay. Judging by the chart pattern, anticipating further downside on VIX now. Now that we've broken under the trend line of this wedge. Yep. And if you are familiar with VIX, they generally pop less and less. So this was a huge pop from the pandemic time. Then so lower pop, outweighed it a little bit because we didn't come down as much. But then this is this normal move back to its normal movement. Come down a bit lower and then a lower pop. Now we're gonna on the next leg down, on the next consolidation, I imagine we're gonna break under the 20, which has been a key support. And with us breaking under the 20, could potentially see a long period of consolidation on VIX. Okay, and for gold, silver. How come I keep having it wrong side? There we go. This one is gold. Still in that channel. Nothing exciting. Sideways action. Potential monthly bull flag. Still holding that monthly bull flag. Monthly 8 is your guide. This is shaping up to be a decent monthly bull flag. We did break under the monthly 8 ones, but got bought up right away. So looking for a continuation like this one. Silver, we popped yesterday, came straight back down today, touched that 88. Now we're potentially looking at an actual move out of this zone now. We'll be looking at it tomorrow. US dollars, interesting. US dollars broke through the trend line that's been holding us down for a very long period of time. Ever since the pandemic time, rejection, a second rejection, and now this third one, we are breaking through. This is the first time we have traded over the trend line ever since the pandemic time. The pandemic highs, March 20th. So this is very notable. we could see that if US dollars was to continue going up, we could very well see further pullbacks in the market. It is an leading indicator as people are going into further cash holdings, and that's part of the reason why that's driving US dollars up. So just keep that in mind. Technically, the prediction on this US worked out. We touched it. Well, we opened on the trend line, touched it, rejection today on a shorter time frame. Now we're closing over it. So keep a very close eye on US dollars. If we see it start trending, this is already a reversal, a daily reversal confirmed. Okay, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher low, and now we're making a higher high again. So daily trend on US dollars have changed. So it's okay to keep a bigger portion of your account sizing in cash, especially if you're trading US dollars, because every day you will see your portfolio size go up simply by US dollars moving upwards. Keep that in mind, as even though we are out of the woods for SPX, there is a very high potential, because if you look at this on the daily, let's look at SPY. SPY is a bit cleaner chart. Generally, you want to be looking at daily. So this has been a crazy run. And I'm sure if you're a Elliott wave expert, you can find a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here somewhere. But that's something I'm still working on right now personally. Elliott, I just find it's too opinionated. There's multiple ways you can draw it. Anyways, so on the SPY, even SPX, this can very arguably just be an A. And now that we have formed the B, so there could be a C coming down. And I do understand that. Thus, trading sizing, still keeping it relatively smaller. But playing with momentum, bull momentum is clearly there. So play with it, make that easy money. All right. Next one, Bitcoin. Bull flag is looking to confirm. This upper trend line of the channel has been keeping us down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rejections. And after this bull divergence, we are now seeing a follow through, breaking over that key previous resistance support. A solid breakthrough. Nothing notable on volume. Potentially decreasing volume. Gonna have to see how today works out. So if today confirms to be a decreasing volume, we're unlikely to break through this resistance around 38,000. Yeah, the only notable level that I can see, there's triple rejections here around the 38,000 mark. But it's not a clear resistance. Anyways, watch the volume today. If it's decreasing bull, likely see a rejection, unable to break through this 38,000 zone. Or even 37,800. All right, let's get into the hottest tickers. First one, Tesla. What a recovery. Congrats, Tesla bulls. Look at this. 13% from the bottom. What a recovery. This is an amazing recovery. Ultimately, judging by the volume, nothing exciting on the volume yet. Unless we see an increasing volume tomorrow, I am still anticipating a touch on this trend line somewhere in the future. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And if we were to draw a fib, let's see where that lines up with. All right, so if we were to draw a fib, based on fib, the pullback should happen Thursday. Today's Tuesday. Towards Thursday and Friday. You can see Friday, that's where the 0.382 and the trend line meet. That's one possible scenario. The other possible scenario is, always keep in mind, we could very well, and there is a lot of people looking at this target, we could very well just keep on running up into the 1,000 mark, then from there have a pullback. There is a lot of people looking at the $1,000 mark as a target from this recovery. So keep that in mind. And if that is the case, we run into 1,000, this would still make sense as well. We run in, gives us a lot more time to pull back to the 0.382. We are still going to meet the trend line. Regardless of where it is, this trend line is our guide right now. The sooner we pull back, the lower the price is going to be. The later we pull back, of course, the higher the price is going to be. So let's say that we do run to 1,000, then we see a pullback to the trend line, then we're looking at 850. That's pretty high price. 850 versus if we were to see a pullback Thursday, Friday, we're looking at 800. Okay. So Tesla, ultimately, a lot of people are still looking at bullish, looking for that extended, similar idea with SPX, extended extended fifth leg running on Elliott's wave. Okay. Ultimately, I think I'm gonna avoid trading Tesla for now, unless we see a break of this high on unnoticeable bull volume. Yeah, it's sort of in the middle of a no man's land. Ideal entry would have been a wick from yesterday's wick. That would have been an ideal entry. Now we've run quite a bit. Gonna have to see some more price action to give me confidence. All right, that's it for Tesla. Next one, Amazon. We're gonna have to look at this in the after hour perspective. So today we saw follow through. Towards the end of the day, we saw sell off. Earnings, initial reaction. It could be earnings, could also be Bezos announcing that he is stepping down as CEO. Huge bear reaction. Following that, got bought up, potentially due to earnings. They had a great earnings. Look at this. Near 100% beat. A near 100% beat, and yet the chart did not go anywhere. Market does not like surprises. With the announcement of Bezos stepping down, that basically served as a counter to such an amazing quarter. So, it's kind of sad because I was anticipating that their quarter is going to be very decent. Ended up it was very decent. So took a lotto, but it seems like my streaks on the lottos just don't work out that well. Oh well, what can you do, right? So with this, my dog's visiting me again. Anyways, with this chart, if you're looking at extended hours on, hourly 8 is your guide. We are still holding it after hours, and tomorrow morning, gonna have to look at this very closely to see the reaction. And remember, this is why I say don't trade the news, but trade the reaction to the news. The initial reaction to the news was extremely bearish. but then we got bought up extremely strong. For top watch tomorrow morning. All right, next, space. Huge pullback today. Nice gap up. Very nice gap up. We opened at 50. We opened at the high of day. 1 cent off. 58.59. Can't even see that wick. From there, huge profit taking all day. Now we are on that trend line again. We bounced from here twice. Now we're on the trend line. Bulls managed to save the trend line. Based on the volume, as long as this trend line holds, we'll be looking at further upside. Space is having great bull momentum. Even if that trend line doesn't hold, this is the key trend line to hold. As of now, the 88 should be your guide. We can clearly see bull volume clear outweighing bear volume. Yeah, lack of sellers tomorrow is key. If we break under the trend line, look for reaction on the 88. However, this kind of candle is a little bit cause for concern. Next, PLTR. Saw a huge selling pressure today. Not even on significant bear volume either. Bulls unable to hold their previous support or previous resistance zone. We closed right under it, anticipating further bear action. So something interesting that's noticeable today is the Wall Street bets were selling off alongside PLTR. And I was in this trade, but used this as my stop 32.60. We can see previous resistance, bounce, and a clear bounce of that level. So would anticipate further downside, potentially a back test of this trend line around 26.41. That would be an ideal entry. Last but not least, another top watch, Zoom. Amazon and Zoom is going to remain on top watch for until the play plays out. Amazon probably until tomorrow. Zoom, inverse head and shoulder finally playing out, breaking over that neckline, slight close over it today. Towards the end of day, we are forming a bull flag. Now we can see support on this trend line. So previous rejections, now using a support. Very ideal setup for bulls. Clear reversal from GP. Lower high, bull flag, higher high, bull flag. Tomorrow morning, I want to see that follow through right away. Loving the setup. Ultimately, look price target wise, looking up at the minimum 0.382, which brings us to 429. Lines up with previous resistance at 427. Then next target after that is around GP, 490-ish. All right, that's it for hottest tickers. Next is requested tickers. First one, FUBO. Chart's looking strong. Potential shorter term wedge setting up. Very low bear volume. Lack of sellers. We bounced from the support last. Double bounce, triple bounce. And now we are seeing a formation of wedge setting up on low bear volume. Ultimately, as mentioned in previous video, for a wedge, best setup is you want to see a third touch. But based on this low bear volume, we might not get that. On the daily, chart is still looking strong. Broke over the GP, closed over on yesterday, and today we are holding the GP. So it's already over that GP. Chart is looking very strong. There is no reason to sell. Use the daily 8 as your guide. Next, FISV. Okay. Got over the daily 8. Not noticeable bull volume. Earnings coming out February 9th. We were in the channel before. It's gonna be somewhere around so we came back to backtest that. Yeah, we came back to backtest that key trend line, now serving as support. Something doesn't look right here. Not liking that. No, this actually works pretty well. Seems like there's a couple ways to draw this. I'm having a hard time seeing patterns on this chart aside from this trend line. There's notable trend line that's now serving as support. So if you're playing this, you just gotta watch for the volume. We've been trading under the daily 8 for quite some time, ever since January 12th. So half a month. And now we're getting our first close over the daily 8, but on decreasing bull volume. So ultimately, I think the chart will give us a clear pattern after the earnings. Right now, sort of in the no man's land, rejecting from previous high resistance. Closing just above it. Yeah, closing just above it. So chart is somewhat strong, but earnings likely to determine which direction this chart is going to go. Over the long term, it's going to be a hard ticker to trade, because on this move, you can see bounce was not exactly all that strong. 50%, under 50%, then went into a long-term sideways action. It's not the type of volatility that's ideal for if you're active traders. It could be a good ticker for holding long term. Yeah, it looks like a decent ticker for holding long term, but not exactly ideal for active trading. Right, next one, SNDL. Weekly reversal, looking to, let's see, lower low. You could say the weekly reversal has already confirmed, but there are a ton of upper wicks forming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, 6 different weeks of upper wicks. So there is still a lot of bag holders. Remember that. On this way down, there's likely people who bought from before. You know, up here, up here, up here. These are all resistances. And in order for us to get a decent move on this chart, on the long-term time frame, we're gonna have to get over these two zones first. Bull volume is there to support this move. 128 clear resistance. On the daily, trend clear reversal to the bulls. Nice pop and run yesterday. Gap up and run. Today, inside bar. Ultimately, it's 1 one, we are still range bound from that big candle on January 28th. This is now the key support and resistance candle. We're going to need to break into a new high, close over that new high, but overall chart is looking strong and ready for the next leg up soon. We're going inside bars sideways, expecting a bull flag to set up. The 88 is catching up. Then from there, we'll be expecting a next leg up. I am in this play for from a shorter perspective, shorter time frame perspective. Chart looks nice. Looking for that next leg up. Next, VXRT. Now, someone commented on the YouTube channel with this ticker, but then I think they deleted the comment. But I looked at the chart. It looked a little bit interesting. I think it was yesterday that we looked at it. Look at this. Yesterday we closed 15.57. And today we're seeing another gap up with a run. What a crazy chart. The volume is coming in. Tomorrow potentially seeing another leg up. And the reason why I say that is not seeing a volume climax yet. We are getting extended from the 88. So we're gonna be looking for that next day follow through, forming some sort of reversal candle. Then if you're in the bull play, you just want it to go slowly sideways down instead of a huge reversal. Big bear volume, that is a major red flag. But right now, tomorrow, likely to see further bull action. Chart is in 52-week high. Lots of bull volumes. This is looking nice. Bear divergence here. No divergences, no bear volume. Likely to look up at a further price action tomorrow. Next, snow. The third of my top watch. Amazon, Zoom, snow. Alright, snow is getting that reversal. Again, I don't think this is considered a inverse head and shoulder anymore because of how the right shoulder is lower than the head. So no longer valid, but regardless, still looking at that reversal. Broke to a new low, lack of follow through. Now we supported, held the support zone next couple days. Closed over the 88 yesterday, seeing a nice follow through. Unfortunately, unable to close over the GP and major resistance 303. Shot over it. I think end of day we sold off. Nope, end of day just bull flag forming. Similar to Zoom, very ideal setup. I love the lack of bear volume, except for the last hour, which is last hour is always going to have higher volume, so not worried about this. Tomorrow, I want to see a close over that GP. Ultimately, let's take a look at this big run or a big drop. It's a little bit lower now because of that new low. First target, that previous resistance zone, 325 to 327. 327 being the 0.382. From there, gonna be looking at around 0.5, which will line up with this resistance. Then GP. So there are some notable resistances along the way up until higher, but liking the bull volume that's coming in after. If you look at this, you can't really say that you can't notice that the bear volume is lacking comparing to bull volume. There are more days of bear action, yes, but once this starts reversing, this is the big move that I'm anticipating. And for those of you that are in the 24/7 chat room, you know that I've been in this play for quite some time. I think it was since back here. Actually, yeah, it was. We bought somewhere along these three candles, sold off on the additions up here, and added today or yesterday. Chart is looking great for next leg up. Let's see if there's a bull divergence. There is a slight bull divergence on this daily chart as well. We slightly broke under, and yet the RSP is slightly higher. RSI is slightly higher. Nothing to not like about this chart. Want to see the follow through tomorrow. Confirm the move for us. All right, next, Adobe. Break of the wedge for the first time. Nope, not for the first time. There's a fake out back here. Well, when we were looking at this chart earlier today, I decided not to take the trade because of this potential of another trend line above. So it's similar to Amazon. And especially based on the volume today, anticipation is even if we were to come up to the trend line, we'll likely see a rejection unless we see that continued increased bull volume. If we look closer at today's volume, there's very nice price action today. We just got constantly walked up by the 5-minute 8 up until 10. Oh no, was it extended? Nope. No, that's right. 5-minute 8 walked us up all morning up until 10 almost 11. Broke down under, but 15 minutes we can see still serving as support until the end of day. Big bear volume came in. Now here is where my concern is. I know this, a lot of people are looking at this ticker because of the break, but there's no convincing volume on the break. It's very steady, it's very sustained. Yes, it's algo buying, that's for sure. But then towards the end of day, this is another cause for concern for me. Bear volume closing us just under the 15.8. Anticipating a fake out breakout. Slight bearish divergence on the 15. If you're in the bull play, you're going to want to see that follow through tomorrow, or else this will be another breakout fake out. Okay. Next, Tilray. Enter this trade today. Look at this volume pop. After a nice bull pennant. Bull pennant, breaking bull, on volume pop. Into the new 52-week high. Nope. About to make 52-week high. Once this 2109, oh, it is. Okay. So new 52-week high. Chart is very strong. Gonna look for that next leg move. Look for something similar to this. Want a extension from the daily 8. Loving the setup. Tilray, very strong. APHA is another name. I might as well take a look at it. Such similar chart. And there's talk that, you know, if you want to get into Tilray, the cheaper way to do it is buying APHA. Because of the difference between them and the merger that's coming up, APHA will ultimately become 25% cheaper or something like that. Let's see, TR 1474, 23. Yeah, I'm not sure how that's calculated, but that's what I'm reading. If you want to get into Tilray, buy APHA instead. Movement, 18% on it today. Same idea. Bull flag formation, breaking bull on bull volume. Tilray, 23%, even higher movement. So marijuana sector looking amazing. And I have a core long position that no intention of selling. Will probably add, well, got my add on Tilray today. We'll probably add when I see momentum such as this. Next, DKNG. Nice break today on volume. Unable to run it further and close at high of day. Brings me to think we will likely come back to retest the trend line. Unless tomorrow we see that follow through. We want to see the follow through tomorrow. Bring us away from the trend line before we come back to backtest. Chart is looking great, keeping a close eye on it. This one in Adobe, very nice setups. Adobe is lacking volume. DKNG is not. So if you're in the play, congrats. Use the hourly 8 as your guide. No reason for sell right now. Last but not least, it's been a long time since I have looked at this ticker, and it's giving me some interest again. It's sparking some interest again. We have been in consolidation since beginning of December, and I think the last time I looked at it was, it was this move, this nice move. Look at this, 72% move in 25 trading days. That was a very nice move. Now I'm getting interested again. We are holding this this previous resistance at 194.50, excuse me. So we are holding that, but there's no clear break of any sort yet. So on this play, I would rather be late to the reversal than getting caught in a downtrend. So we'll start to be covering BA on daily basis, or try to, unless, especially if something interesting shows up. But this is gonna become one of my tickers to watch. BA, ideal entry, initial entry, probably somewhere down here on this previous support resistance zone. High end 188.54, low end 175.56. Gonna have to see further price action. This is nothing convincing yet, but it is becoming interesting. All right. Well, that video ended up being a lot longer than expected, and I do apologize if there's more stuttering than usual. Not really. Kind of tired today for some reason. I got good sleep last night too. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the content, and if you are looking to get out of debt or build that first pot of gold, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button in order to get updates on our new videos. Also, check out our website at totalcontroltraders.com. Stay safe and be in control. I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys.